Hey guys, welcome to Rich with Cars. If you're new to the channel, make sure to follow me and check out some of my older content where I cover vehicles very similar to this one. On this week's video, we're going to be covering the Lotus Eletre, which is Lotus's first ever EV and first ever SUV. When I say first ever EV, I'm meaning production, because they've actually come out with a hypercar, which is the Lotus Evija, which was also an EV vehicle. This particular car is absolutely stunning. Super excited to be reviewing this, because on my first impression, when I first sat inside of it, I was literally blown away. It's been a long time that I've sat inside of a car and really was impressed. And I want to give you guys sort of a view from the exterior and interior and show you guys why it's really impressed me. And hopefully you guys get to see the same thing that I saw during my first impression when I spent some time with this vehicle. So as always, guys, I want to be going over the exterior, the interior, the cargo, powertrain, and then of course end it off with a driving impression. So guys, as always, let's strap in and take a look. So let's get started with the exterior design of the Lotus Eletre. It's not yet prototypical sort of design language that we're all used to seeing with Lotus. Of course, they kept a lot of different design cues to keep it real with Lotus. The most important thing that I want to get started off with to show you guys would be with the Lotus logo. As you guys will see over here with the Lotus logo, it's got the triangle, and you guys will see throughout the entire car, the exterior and both the interior as well, we'll keep on seeing this sort of triangle design cue to commemorate the Lotus design. One thing that I really love in terms of what Lotus did, they basically followed the same sort of headlight design as a lot of the new manufacturers like BMW and Rolls-Royce. But one thing that I love they did is that they actually hid the headlight over here. The headlight is actually here. It's not here at the top. The top is the daytime running light. This part is the headlight, and it doesn't look like there's a headlight there. If you look at it from afar, it kind of looks like the interior portion over here that basically, you know, merges or is very synchronized with the body itself. So that's one thing that I really love. This particular Lotus Eletre, which is the R, the top spec, this one was spec'd with the carbon fiber package, exterior package. So we'll see all kinds of carbon fiber all the way here in the front, at the bottom as well. And the cool thing about what I love about the Lotus Eletre in general is the fact that all the vents that you see, everything, all the holes, they're all real. Nothing is fake in here. So let's see, for example, we have a vent over here that basically exits on top of the hood. We have an air curtain that basically wraps around on the exterior over here, and you guys will see there's an air curtain right here, and you can actually see some of the tire through there as well. That's real. Then we have more air intakes for cooling over here, and these actually open and close based on the requirement of the vehicle. So if it doesn't require any cooling, these will actually close and will keep the car a little bit more aerodynamic at the same time. So this is the daytime running light, and it's got a lot of little cool features, especially when you lock and unlock the vehicle. It's got a little light show as well. The other thing that I want to show you guys as well, on top of the hood, part of the carbon fiber kit package, you'll see that this is all carbon fiber right here. So here we see more carbon fiber. I mean, it's crazy the amount of carbon fiber you get when you actually obtain the carbon fiber package. There's all kinds of carbon fiber. I don't know if you guys will see this sort of colorway over here. That's for the LiDAR, by the way. And that is used for sensing all the different people, motorists, any type of like object around the vehicle. That's what the LiDAR is for. And let's not forget, there's also another LiDAR detection system right here, which this actually pops up when you're driving as well. So that's also super, super cool. These wheels over here, absolutely enormous. Given the fact that this is an EV, it's not like it's got like covers on it or anything. It looks like a performance-oriented wheel. And they're 23 inches in diameter. So that's absolutely massive at the same time. We have huge brake calipers over here sitting right behind the 23-inch wheels. And you have cross-drilled rotors. You can see its performance intentions when you're seeing all this sort of stuff. It's not like really geared towards an EV, despite the fact that this is an EV, but you could see that, you know, their focus was very performance oriented as well. As we move a little bit further behind on the side, you guys will see more, more cameras, another camera over here. You see another camera over there, another camera over here as well. I mean, the amount of technology that this thing has is absolutely insane. I mean, to be honest, in terms of design, in terms of the tech, this is one of the cars that's really blown me away. No carbon fiber. Like I said before, you have a carbon fiber side mirror cap over here. You get to see additional venting on the front fender, and that allows for built-up pressure from inside the wheel well to exit from the back. So, you know, it's performance orientation just keep on coming, keep on showing around the vehicle as well. More carbon fiber. I mean, like, look, the carbon, this is all carbon fiber right here. I mean, that's absolutely insane how much carbon they've actually included as part of the carbon fiber package. I don't see this in many other cars. The amount of CF that they put throughout the vehicle. Another vent, also functional. This right here for additional aerodynamics as well. So this actually goes in through here and exits from here. We get to see also the venting, and then we get to see also the spoiler that's got a very sort of unconventional type of design. It doesn't go all the way across. So it's got this that is actually functional. And then you have the LiDAR with an additional camera that sits right here in the back as well. Once again, we get to see another functional vent over here, and that's also to aid for releasing of positive pressure in the wheel well. This, if you come around and take a look from the rear, you actually get to see the rear tire. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, you only see this, honestly, in full-blown performance vehicles at the end of the day. To actually see the tire directly from the rear bumper, you really don't get to see that in many other cars, except for performance or exotic vehicles. More carbon fiber over here with the lip spoiler that goes on top of the functional spoiler. So this part right here, if you see a cutout right here, that actually raises at specific speeds and then lowers back again. And then I love the design cue that they did on the full light bar. It spans the entire width of the vehicle, which gives it more of a stance at the end of the day. Everything from here down to here is all carbon fiber once again. So the carbon fiber package that comes on this Eletre, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but you also get tremendous amounts of carbon fiber. Let's count how many times I've said carbon fiber on this video, because honestly, that will show you how much there is on this vehicle. Ultimately, the exterior design on the Eletre is very, very unconventional. Let's say it's not typical Lotus, but it's also very functional. You get to see even from this angle, it's a real performance-oriented SUV that is strictly an EV. That's the key. Super nice. It's got some heftiness to it, you guys can see. And it's got one button on it, and that button is just to lock and unlock the doors. Let's take a look. As I told you guys before, these are flush door handles that basically pop out. You guys will see over here, gorgeous sort of door cards as well. And I want to show you guys a little Easter egg on the B pillar. So when I open the B pillar over here, you guys will see this Easter egg that gives commemoration to Lotus and its founder. And that's basically the year it's founded, and that's the founder's initials over there. So once we get inside, Let's take a look at the door really quickly. We're having KEF sound system. Look at this beautiful speaker grill. And you guys will notice, if you guys remember, I did say that you will see little Easter eggs of the logo. And if you look closely, you see little triangles. And that represents the Lotus logo as part of the speaker grill. Really nice touch over there. We get to see some really nice soft leather all the way from the top to the bottom of the door. And leather is basically covered all the way. A nice speaker grill also from KEF over here as well. And then you also get to see the little triangles. This is the manual door release in case that the electronic door release doesn't work. Your trunk release, this, believe it or not, is wood. It's actually wood that's actually pressed with the little triangles in the design. If you guys notice over here, there's some little triangles within the wood. Also, nice little detail. And then, of course, really fine touches. You have your window switches, your door lock and unlock, and your side view mirrors, and then that's your door release switch for the electronic door release. So you press that and it opens the door. The other thing that I also love is how they actually integrated the gold accents throughout the entire interior of the vehicle. And you guys will see that there's also quite a bit of carbon fiber as well. Now let's take a look at the seat. You guys will see right here on the seat, it's a very sporty seat. In an area where you don't even need to actually see, they actually ended up putting carbon fiber right here, right around the door seat controls. Once again, these gold accents that typically gold wouldn't work for me, but for whatever reason on this car, it works phenomenally well. You have a bunch of different controls over here, gold accenting over here, and then the stitching is sort of like a beige that goes with a beige leather and also goes with a gold accenting. You have Alcantara on the side of the seat mixed with some leather. So you have black leather and you have beige leather, and then you have further Alcantara on some other portions of the seat itself. And then really cool thing, you get to see the embroidery right on the headrest, additional carbon fiber here on the top. And the other cool thing is that you can also adjust, you can see here on the headrest, you can adjust the headrests. Look at this. To basically wrap around your head. Super nice touch as well. So, and as we get further into the vehicle, you guys will see all the carbon fiber work. You can see the carbon fiber going down here in the middle console. You see a speaker also in the middle console right here at the bottom. So this car itself, as the upgraded speaker system, it's got, I think, a crazy number of speakers throughout the car. I think it's 28 speakers around the car, and it's over 2,000 watts, which is like mind-blowing. They paid a lot of close attention to detail. Let's get started with the steering wheel. This is very sporty steering wheel. It's got a flat top, flat bottom, very nice ergonomic design. And I love the way that they integrated the gold accenting. And they also put some paddles, but they're not paddles because it's an EV to change gears. It's paddles basically for different functionalities. So on the right side, you can toggle between different drive modes. So if I click over here, you guys can see on the screen, as I'm toggling, you see track, individual, sport, tour, range, and off-road. And then the suspension, based on the drive mode that you're in, will basically raise or lower. You also get to see over here this very minimalistic gauge cluster, which is basically like a very thin screen. I think it's just perfect in my opinion because it gives you just the right amount of information in there. And then moving on to the left side of the steering wheel, that's your regeneration adjustment. So that's for plus, and you guys will see here on the screen that basically that's for less regeneration as I click the bottom part of the left paddle. If I click the top, it basically raises to full regeneration as well. You have your cruise controls functions over here, and then you have some of your media functions on the right side as well. That's for your voice control, and that's for other type of media controls as well. You guys can see that the gauge cluster will basically show you your range, your percentage of battery left, what gear you're in, and some of the more important type of notifications, like if your doors are open and things like that. And of course, your speed as well. Everything is leather with contrast stitching. There's even leather right here, right below the actual gauge. So you see all the leather over here. Then some of the additional gold accenting with ambient lighting that welcomes you when you walk inside the car. This ambient lighting basically goes all the way across the dash itself. You have your speaker grill there in the middle. You also have a heads-up display, massive infotainment screen. For the vents, you can't physically adjust them. Everything is actually adjustable through the screen itself. So if I want to basically adjust the direction of the venting, it's all done through here. So you guys can see that. Look how smooth this is. And this screen right here basically will show you different functions that you can work on the vehicle. So let's say if I go towards the rear of the vehicle, now I can do different functions. Lock, unlock. I can open up the trunk, get that done. So now it's open. And the cool thing is that this opens up in real time as it does, physically. So if I close it now, let's say, let's close it now. And now let's try to do the spoiler. And now I can do different positions on the spoiler. Look at this. I told you guys about all the LiDAR sensors when I was doing the exterior. Well, this will show you all the different vehicles that are parked in front of the car or that are surrounding the car. Not only vehicles, pedestrians, and other types of motorists as well. And that's all part of the LiDAR system. Very similar to what you see also with Tesla, for example. Kind of shows you the direction that Lotus is taking now, moving forward with all the tech that they're trying to integrate into their vehicles. I forgot to mention that this is a pre-production version of this car. It's basically the last level of pre-production before actually being fully production-wise. And this is more of a European version of the car. So some functions might not be working, but it shows you the general aspects on functions of the vehicle. That's your different drive modes. You have different safety as well that you can do. That's your sound, different sound modes that you can do. This vehicle, from a tech perspective, very impressive. You have a wireless charger right here where you can see I've put my phone. These are all your temperature controls. So really cool thing over here. When you're adjusting the temperature, you guys can see that right on the actual little knob, it'll turn red if you're turning the temperature up, and it'll turn blue when the temperature is going down. And the same thing goes over here. There's a little ambient light over here. Temperature goes up, goes red. Temperature goes down, goes blue. And same thing on the other side, you guys can see also. So little touches like that make this car very interesting in general. Something else that I love what they did with the cup holders. So if you're not using the cup holders, it basically works seamlessly with the middle console. If you want to use a cup holder, push it down. And you can push it down here as well. And then you can also basically raise them back up. Then you have the middle compartment. Look how deep this middle compartment is. It is, absolutely, when it comes to convenience, you can store a whole bunch of stuff in there. You have a 12-volt outlet in there as well with 2 USB-C plugs as well. So allows you to, put out any of your devices to charge. And then the other cool thing, if you look at the passenger side, we have another little screen over here as well that allows the passenger to do whatever they want. You have carbon fiber all throughout the middle console over here. You have carbon fiber even here on the top as well. And once again, the SOS button, if you notice, that's a triangle, kind of like I mentioned before, the Lotus logo. Alcantara headliner. It shows you the level of quality that they went with this. When we look at the sun visors, Alcantara, and even this is interesting, the lighting for the actual mirrors. Look how nice that is. Something as simple as this, they didn't have to go all out like that, but look how nice this is, the lighting on this. It's really, really nice. It's like It's next level type of luxury even. The biggest and best trick of all, we've seen this in McLaren's as well. If we take a look at the panoramic roof, I'll show you guys right now. If I go on to auto transparency into the screen, and now if you look at the roof, I can make it fully transparent, or fully opaque. You can't see through it, and then I can actually make it fully transparent. Fully opaque, fully transparent. I want to show you guys how it feels in the back in terms of like space. So this is even a little bit further back than my regular driving position. I'm 6'1". I mean, I have at least a good solid 4 inches to 5 between my knee and the rear seat. The quality of materials and the finishings, even in the rear, is absolutely impressive. Look at this. Completely unnecessary, but they did it anyways. Carbon fiber right here. I love this gold accenting. I mean, like I said, gold typically won't work for me, but for whatever reason, it works very well in this car. Gold accenting. Then you have a nice little screen over here to help you control the AC, and it basically helps you control a bunch of the stuff, the audio, even like some of the moving of the seats, for example. So it even went as much as like putting embroidery or stamping the logo on the rear headrests. Carbon fiber here, once again. Alcantara on the seat back. And even the middle compartment over here. I mean, look how nice this is. You got additional storage over here. So the rear seating area of the Lotus Eletre, I have to give it a thumbs up. Then we're going to look at the cargo area of the Lotus Eletre. I don't think there's any differences between the R spec or the S spec, for example. And we get to see over here that you have a considerable amount of space here in the rear. Once again, the same mantra follows all the way to the back in terms of the quality and materials. The cargo cover is finished in leather. I mean, it's very, very nicely done. Even the actual carpeting for the trunk, also very nice material. If you look under the cargo cover, for example, you'll see that they even used LED lighting here for the inside. It's basically covered in full LED lights. The rear hatch door, they went Alcantara over here. That is unnecessary, but they still ended up using Alcantara here and Alcantara even for the cargo cover. I mean, they didn't ship out on anything as well. I'll show you guys also on the screen what the cargo volume is, so you can compare it with other potential EVs or even performance SUVs. But based on what I see over here, you have a considerable amount of space that makes this car not only fun to drive, but also very convenient. And then, of course, you have a little extra area here as well for little items that you want to put in there, so they'll roll around as well. And then some extra space over here where you have your tow hook, speaker grill over there. And then the last thing I want to show you is if you have any sort of heavy items, you have the buttons here like we've seen in other reviews of mine. You can actually lower the ride height so that the loading area is actually lower and it's easier to load the car. When you're done, you can put it back up as well. So not a problem whatsoever. So all in all, the cargo area is very, very good as well. We're also going to take a look at the front because it's part of the cargo, but there's not much to work with. A little cool Easter egg that you guys will see as soon as you see this is, once again, the badge of its founding year. And then, of course, you have a little storage area over here. And I'll show you guys also the amount of space that there is in there. But it's big enough to put in the pouch for the electric cables. So we're going to cover the powertrain. I'm not very familiar, but I know that here in North America, there's going to be 2 trims. It's going to be the S, and then this one right here, which is the R, the higher version. It's got 2 electric motors, one in the front, one in the rear axle. The R spec, which is this one right here, has, I believe it's 905 horsepower. And let me just check, 726 pounds per foot of torque. Car and Driver tested this out, and they did 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds, which is absolutely unreal for an over 5,500 pound vehicle. They say that the range in terms of the curb weight between the different trims is anywhere between 5,500 to 5,850 pounds. And then, of course, the S trim has 603 horsepower, and I believe it has 523 pounds per foot of torque. That's 0 to 60 in about 4.3 seconds. A little bit slower, but I mean, 4.3 seconds is no slouch. It's got a 109 kilowatt hour battery. So on the R trim, we're looking at about 260 miles of range, whereas on the S trim, it's got less performance but more range, and we're looking at about 320 miles, give or take, of range. So all in all, I think it's not the best when it comes to range, but in terms of performance, I would say it's probably up there for sure. And oh my god, yeah, no, this is like wow. I know what it sticks, man. It really does stick. So guys, driving the Lotus Eletre R spec, and I just started driving it now, and I took it like right off the bat. I started accelerating, and oh my god, can I tell you guys, this thing pushes like there's no tomorrow. Uh, I just put it into sport mode. The seats actually just basically self-adjusted to hug me. So now the side bolsters are basically tied around my I guess my rib cage area. I mean, even for a 5,500 plus pound vehicle, it feels like it pushes. Now I'm gonna push it a little bit and it handles. Sorry. Oh my god, guys! In like literally a matter of a couple seconds, I I was in, let's just say, speeds that I'm not supposed to be saying. I mean, I've been in other EVs. This is very close to Tesla Model S Plaid levels of speed, to be honest with you guys. Steering was a little bit, numb, to say the least, and it's not very communicative. It's not very Lotus-like, to say. Suspension is pretty compliant. It's supposed to be a large, heavy SUV, sort of for more daily drive than a sporty drive in the canyons. The suspension feel, it's actually quite comfortable, and I still have it in sport right now, so it's not that stiff. The steering does change in terms of its feel when you're changing the different drive modes. So that's one thing that I definitely noticed. Not too difficult to get used to. The bite, actually, there's an initial bite right on the top of the brake pedal. I'm in maximum regeneration mode, which means that when I let off the go pedal, for example, the energy it basically does energy recovery to recharge the battery at the end of the day. Now, I'm letting off the go pedal right now. I can tell you for a fact that even in maximum regeneration, you cannot do single pedal driving like you do, for example, in other EVs like a Tesla, for example. Steering actually got a little bit tighter even as well in track mode. But I take a slightly quick turn over here to see how the suspension and the steering feels and see how the road handling is as well. Wow, it's very impressive. I mean, this is a heavy car, but it hides its weight very well. I'm going to do a quick U-turn over here. Turning radius is very good in this. But ultimately, I have to tell you guys, from a driving perspective, I'm very impressed. It doesn't have, the visceral feel that Lotus typically gives when you're driving the vehicle, because it's an EV, it's heavy, and it's also an SUV at the same time. But for a large, heavy SUV, and it's very, very good. It's very, very good. It's not Lotus good in terms of driving feel perspective, but generally it's very impressive. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick overview of the Lotus Eletre. Hopefully, I gave you guys a good idea as to why this car impressed me so much. It was an absolute pleasure for me to have reviewed, driven this car. You guys got to see exactly why this car, in my opinion at least, is probably on the top of my list, especially when it comes to EV, SUV vehicles. And even I would say it sits on the top 5 to top 7, I would say, of the overall performance SUV lineup. So we're talking about even internal combustion engines. I'm not an EV guy, but you guys got to see as to why this thing is so impressive. As always, I want to give a huge thanks to Aston Martin of Orlando. They're also a Lotus dealership. So if you guys are looking to get yourself into a Lotus Eletre or even go for a test drive, make sure to give them a call. Take a look at Lotus of Orlando. They do start taking pre-orders now already for the Lotus Eletre. Make sure to take a look at what they have available and what you guys can order, because you guys have different trim levels for it. But I want to give you guys also a huge thanks for all the likes, all the views, and the shares. Make sure to comment below with any stuff that you guys want to share feedback with. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.